We now want to address one of the biggest causes of risk in UK events and venues. It's not usually bad planning, it's missing information. Too often, venues only find out what's really happening at an event when it's almost too late. Food arrives that wasn't declared. Sparklers suddenly appear. A contractor turns up with equipment no one has seen before. And when that happens, the paperwork no longer matches reality on the ground. In the UK, there is a well-understood expectation around event safety documentation. The Purple Guide sets the benchmark, and most local authorities will expect to see a clear, defensible set of documents before an event is signed off. The challenge is that there is no single checklist that fits every event. What's required depends entirely on what the event actually involves. That's where the required documents module comes in. Instead of guessing what a client might bring or relying on last-minute disclosures, this module focuses on one thing: matching what is happening on site with the documents that prove it can be done safely. At the most basic level, every event starts with what we call the core documents. A general risk assessment, a live document identifying hazards like slips, trips and falls and how they are controlled. A fire risk assessment that reflects the event layout, not just the building. Temporary staging, extra seating or altered layouts all change the risk profile, and public liability insurance showing that appropriate cover is in place, typically £5 to £10 million for the venue and, where required, contractors. From there, things start to scale. Food and beverages are a good example. If catering is involved, compliance becomes much more specific. An allergen matrix is required, breaking down all 14 mandatory allergens in every dish, in line with Natasha's law. A HACCP plan is needed to show how food safety is managed from storage through to service. And if external caterers are using gas, valid LPG or gas safety certificates must be provided and in date. None of these documents are optional if food is present, but they're often missed when catering details change late. The same applies to contractors and technical suppliers. As soon as someone external is brought in, the documentation requirement changes. Risk assessments and method statements are required to show how work will be carried out safely. PATI testing records are needed for any plug-in equipment, whether it's a DJ laptop, lighting rig or photo booth. And where temporary structures are involved, stages, truss, marquees are temporary demountable. Structures sign-off is essential. Each contractor adds a layer of responsibility and each layer needs evidence. Then there are the site-specific plans. Crowd management plans become critical as numbers increase. Emergency evacuation plans must reflect who is attending. Moving 500 teenagers is very different to evacuating 50 elderly guests. Noise management plans may be required for late-running events or venues close to residential areas. The key point is this: there is no universal list. UK health and safety law works on a scale of risk basis. Every venue has its permanent baseline documents. Every event adds an overlay, and every additional feature, food, alcohol, fire effects, contractors, triggers new specific requirements. The problem most venues face is visibility. If you don't know what's being brought in, you can't know what documents are required. The required documents module solves that by linking real-world activity to compliance expectations. Instead of reacting when something turns up on the day, the system builds a live picture of what's involved and shows you exactly what documentation must exist to support it. Nothing generic, nothing excessive, just what is required based on the actual risk profile of the event. This ensures that what's happening on site is always reflected in the paperwork, and that there are no surprises when it matters most. In the next video, we'll show how the client survey feeds directly into this process, capturing those details early and automatically generating the required document list. That's where control replaces guesswork, and where compliance becomes proactive, not reactive. Let's see it in action. The purpose of this demonstration is to show you what your client experience looks like when they are asked to provide event details through the SafetyDocs survey form. This is the form your clients complete before an event takes place. Once the form is submitted, the system immediately generates a bespoke list of safety documents required for that specific event and emails that list directly to the client so they can upload everything into the SafetyDocs portal for approval. For the purposes of this demo, I'll create a fictitious event, show you how the form is completed, and then show you exactly what happens in the background once it's submitted. This form can be embedded directly into your own website, your client portal, or shared as a secure link. Alternatively, it can live on its own branded SafetyDocs domain, depending on how you want clients to access it. Either way, the experience for the client is the same. Simple, structured, and guided. Let's create a demo event. We'll give the event a name. We'll set the date for January. The venue location will be Hall 12. The event type is a conference. The expected attendance will be 500 people. The event duration is 1 day. We'll confirm that the event operates under a formal safety management structure, including a safety officer. This is an indoor event. We'll now add some fictitious organizer details, including a company name, contact information, and a UK contact number. At this stage, the client is simply describing their event in plain terms. Nothing technical, nothing intimidating. The form now moves on to a series of practical questions about what the event involves. Will there be multiple parties involved? Yes. External contractors. Will there be any temporary structures? No. Rigging? No. Working at height? Possibly using step ladders. Temporary electrical installations? Yes. Generators? No. Pyrotechnics, smoke effects, or drones? No. Will security staff or stewards be used to manage crowd behaviour? Yes. Will there be children present? No. Will alcohol be served? Yes. Will there be food traders present? Yes. Will the audience be standing? Yes. Will there be any external queuing or bag searching? No. Is hostile vehicle mitigation required? No. Will there be first aid provision? Yes, via a first aid plan. Will there be dedicated medical cover? No. Will any temporary fire exits be altered? No. Will public liability insurance be held? Yes. Each answer is quietly shaping the safety and compliance requirements for the event in the background. Once the form is submitted, several things happen immediately. First, a contact record is created for the client. If we refresh the contact list, we can see that contact has now been added, along with all the information they entered in the form. Every answer is recorded, what they are bringing, what they are not bringing, what risks are present and which are not. This gives you a full declaration record without chasing emails or attachments. At the same time, the system creates an event record for that company. If we open the event, we can see that it has been automatically placed into a checklist pending stage. Opening the opportunity gives us even more visibility. Tags have been added automatically based on the client's answers. These tags allow you to filter, report, and communicate. For example, sending updates to every event involving alcohol service or external contractors. Now we get to the most important part. Based on the survey responses, SafetyDocs generates a tailored list of required safety documents. Every document initially shows as not approved because the client hasn't uploaded anything yet. If we unhide empty fields, we can also see the documents that were not required for this event. This gives full transparency, and importantly, this logic can be overridden. For example, if you decide that bag searching is required, you can simply mark it as not approved. that instantly adds the documentation to the client's required list. This keeps professional judgment firmly in your control. As the process continues, the event moves along the pipeline. The client is now prompted to upload their documents directly into the SafetyDocs portal. You review those documents here. If revisions are required, the system automatically notifies the client. Once everything is approved, access is granted and the documentation set is complete. Finally, the client receives an automatic email listing exactly which documents they need to provide for their event. Those requirements are entirely driven by their own answers. For example, contractor insurance registers appear because external contractors were declared. Food safety documentation appears because catering was involved. Nothing generic, nothing excessive. Just what is actually required. This survey-driven process removes uncertainty for everyone. Clients know exactly what is expected. Venues receive consistent, auditable declarations. And approval workflows are clear, trackable, and defensible. The questions and document requirements can be customized for your venue, your license conditions, and your operating model. And once documents are requested, everything lives in one place. The SafetyDocs portal, ready for review and approval.